Hi everyone, it's Jess, aka Colouring Bumblebee, and I'm back today with another video for you. Today I am sharing with you all of the books that I got throughout the month of September 2024. I have quite a few books to show you. I did treat myself again this month, but I feel like I'm getting to the point in my collection where I've got all the books I want. There's still a few artists that I want a few more books, like Hannah Carlson and Maria Troll, but I'm saving them for another treat. But yeah, I've got quite a few books, so hope you're ready for a nice long haul video. The first thing I did in September was a Amazon Japan order. In fact, it feels like I got these books ages ago. I was kind of surprised that they were for September. The first one is the Waltzes for the Seasons postcard book. This is illustrated by Kaneko Igusa. And Kaneko Igusa is quickly becoming one of my favourite artists, so I just had to get myself this book. It's this really lovely small size colouring book, well, postcard size I should say, and it has a few coloured examples at the front, and then you go straight into the postcards itself, and they are perforated on the edges, but the book itself is sewn bound and really good quality, so as long as you're not tearing along the edges, I think it should stay together quite well. But it's just full of adorable postcards themed to each of the seasons, starting with spring here. And we have a mixture of the full size and half size postcards. You can see they're split into two halves, which, depending on how much detail you want to put into your colouring that day, it suits your mood. Love this little pug here. It's moved into summer now. And it also has a variety of portrait and landscape postcards. I have started one for the Halloween season. You'll expect to see that in my completed pages. This is the autumn section. And then we move into the winter section. I just love every single page in this book. And I adore Kaneko Igusa's style, and it's fun to have something of a different format. And then these ones in the back have a slightly different style. You can see it's a bit more sketchy. It's got a lot more black lines compared to her normal pages. It gives that sort of like vintage, almost like Victorian botanicals kind of style to it, which is different but equally beautiful. Lots of florals in the back here. And then we have 4 mini postcards, which are a quarter of the size. They're more of a note card size. And those are all of them. That is Waltzes for the Seasons by Kaneko Igusa. Then I finally got my first April book. This is an artist that I've had my eye on for quite some time now. I think April is an absolutely amazing artist. He creates some absolutely stunning coloured pictures and line art for you to colour. So there's a small thumbnail on the left and the coloured page for you to colour yourself on the right. There's a lot of big open backgrounds, and I want to get some watercolours. I'm not sure which ones to get though yet, but for this book I think it's just going to look stunning with some watercolour for the backgrounds to create these really nice washes of colour. I love this page. Yeah, this book has definitely been around for a while, so I'm going to quickly flip through it. There's a good variety of interior and exterior images, close-ups of the girl that's featured throughout the book, larger scenes with more detail. It's a really nice variety of images in this book. I think it'd be really fun to challenge myself to colour in her style. I really love the colour palette of this page with the books. I love colouring books. And the way she colours things is very different to how I would. She uses a lot of muted colours, which I do really enjoy, but I struggle to recreate or create muted colour palettes. I find a lot of coloured pencil sets are bright and bold, which suits a bright and bold page, but if you wanted a more muted soft look, I find it's trickier to achieve. Just kind of why I want to get some watercolours. There's loads of pages in this book. And there we have it, that's the end. So that is Apol's Forest Scale colouring book. And I'm not sure which volume this is, but this is the one I got with the sort of greeny cover. Then I got the newest book from the Tokimeku series. This is that rectangular Japanese colouring book series. And this is Midnight Tea Party with Stuffed Animals. And it is illustrated by Pochi, I believe. They always start their books with a few colour samples at the front. It's hard to fit this book in frame. Some colouring techniques. And if you didn't know, you can scan this QR code and get a PDF copy of the book and a coloured version of the book, which is great for some colour palette inspiration. And this goes through this story of this little boy who gets a mouse for each of his years for his birthday. And I just think these little stuffed animal mice creatures are so cute. There's some lovely scenes in here. I'm not sure how it would rank compared to the other Tokimeku book series. My favourite are the ones by Mikiko Inotome, the Seasonal Wreaths and Wild Mouse Yurui books. I love this bath page, I think that's so cute. But I can definitely see myself colouring lots of pages in this book. And I'm not one to get every single book in a series, but for this one they're all so cute. I feel like I need to. And now I've got them all, I feel like I need to keep going. Obviously, if there's one where I really just don't like the theme, I won't bother. But I did quite enjoy this one. Love this double page picnic spread, that's lovely. Yeah, flipping through it again, there's a lot of pages which I can see myself colouring, and I'm excited to colour. I know this book hasn't been so well received, but I think it's really cute. And at the back we've got this craft here, where you can colour these in, and it's like a perpetual calendar. I'm not sure how it would work, but I thought it was interesting. And we've got each of the little mice here doing different activities, I think it is. And the index in the back, where I like to go through and translate each of the names of the pages before I start. So that is the Midnight Tea Party with Stuffed Animals book by Pochi. And the final book I got from Amazon Japan was Naoko Neko's Story of Precious Cats. This is another book which I've had my eye on for quite some time and finally decided to go ahead and get it. I had a flip through of this book when I went and did a colouring session at Zoe's Cozy Colouring she has this book, and I flipped through it and I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely need to get myself this book now. I wasn't sure to start with because they're quite busy pages, and something about the cats. No, I think with them uncoloured, the eyes, they look very stark and creepy, if that makes any sense. Often when it's just one big white hole, it looks kind of creepy to me, but seeing it coloured in definitely changes your opinion of it. There are some absolutely gorgeous pages in here, and I am planning on colouring one of these on the channel. I will alert you to it when I come to it. It's in the autumn section. It's this page. I had a request to do this as a colour along, so I think I'm going to give that a go. There's some really fun Halloween pages there. And lots of Alice in Wonderland themed pages actually in this book, which is always fun. It'd be cool if maybe Nelko Neko came out with a Alice in Wonderland but cat version. That would be so cute. Like a book like this, which goes through the story of Alice in Wonderland, but instead of them being humans and creatures, they're all cats. And then we've got the thumbnails at the back, and each of the pages have titles, but I haven't actually gone through and translated it yet. That is Nelko Neko's Story of Precious Cats, an absolutely adorable book I am so glad to have in my collection finally. Then I got a couple of the Cute and Cozy books. I decided I needed to get a Halloween themed one. I thought I'd only get the one. I don't want to go and get all of the Cute and Cozy books because it's a very big rabbit hole to fall down, and there are so many on the market right now. It's a bit overwhelming, but I just found my favourites and ordered those. This sign is annoying me today, moving it out of the way. This has the same characters that you see in the other books by Vivi Tinter, but in this spooky scenery. I have already coloured a page. Here it is. But I just like to do very simple colouring in these books. I colour with alcohol markers and shade with the alcohol markers, just a darker outline for shadows. Just keep it simple, easy and fun. There are some absolutely adorable pages in here. I want to make sure I colour before the Halloween season is over. I can see I've got a page flag in here ready to go for Zoe and Dee at Zoe's from Zoe's Cozy Colouring and Dee from Colourful Dreamer on YouTube and Instagram. They have a Facebook group for Cute and Cozy books, and they host a scavenger prompt each week. So I like to partake in that and colour as many as I can. I'm a little bit behind. This is one of my favourite pages. I definitely need to colour this for Megan's How Many Pumpkins tag. But yeah, lots of super cute options to colour in Spooky Fuzzy by Vivi Tinter. And then I got one more. This is Coco Wyo's Cozy Friends. This was one of the first cute and cozy books that I saw on the market. I know Coco Wyo went through and coloured a bunch of these on their Instagram, which I love watching videos of people colour these pages. This one is more generic. It's not themed to any one season. It has a few seasonal pages in it, but they're sort of dotted around the book. And they have these characters that are present in all of the books. I've got that one flagged colour. I love this one with the 3 little kitties. I love this. You've got the box of Adopt Me kittens, and then the next page the house is overrun by kittens. Looks as if the bear did indeed adopt them, along with some previous cats that he's got. Never noticed that before until flipping through her now. Yeah, these are just super quick, easy pages to colour. For me, I like to colour them when colouring full pages is too much brain effort for me, but I want something a little more challenging than a colour by number. I want that sort of in between. This book is perfect for those times. Still haven't coloured a page in this one. Need to make sure I get that done soon. Find a prompt that works for it. So that is Cozy Friends by Coco Wyo. Next, I've got Lonely Pumpkin Had a Great Fall, and if you didn't know, I am doing a colouring series here on YouTube and Instagram, where on every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday of the month, I colour a page from this book, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm going to really quickly flip through this one because I have got a full flip through on the channel. And you can see that I've got some pages flagged that I am going to be colouring for the colour along, the colouring series. If you would like to go back and watch the video where I flip through this book and comment any pages that you like, any page which has had more than one request, I am definitely colouring. So this is one of those. And then pages which have one request, I have been putting in polls for you to vote for on YouTube, or I might pick one of them as it takes my fancy. I'm trying to change it up by doing a mix of full scenes like this and smaller, simpler pages. It does take longer than I thought it would to colour a page of these. When I first filmed one, it took me an hour, and I was just like, oh gosh, I've got to edit this down to a 1-minute video. And luckily I did manage to do it, but it is a lot of work, so I do hope you enjoy it. That's the one I coloured before I started the colour on. That was the day one. Yeah, the book is a compilation of Lonely Pumpkin 1, 2 and 3 by Usiku, and it follows this character, the Lonely Pumpkin, and her pet dog, which I have named Boo. I definitely want to colour this before Halloween, and I've also flagged the Happy Halloween. That's going to be day 13. So that is Lonely Pumpkin Had a Great Fall, the compilation book by Usiku. Then I've got 50 Autumn Miniatures by Chameleon Angel Cover. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to get the seasonal Chameleon Angel Cover books because I found that there's quite a few seasonal appropriate images in her other books. This is one of her older ones. You can tell because the line work is a lot thinner and some of the characters look a bit different than from her newer books. I have some pages flagged here for Colouring Biker Mama Yolanda's Chameleon Angel Cover prompts. This book is perfect for this month's prompts. There's some Halloween and autumnal themed ones. Lots of great options in here. I love this one. I might like to colour that next month. I didn't go for one of her prompts, so I didn't flag it. I want to colour this as a one of her previous prompts for Umbrella. I think this is super cute. I love this deer page. I think mushroom was one of the prompts this month, which is why I flagged that one. And pumpkin is another prompt. Yeah, this book is just full to the brim with autumnal themed pages, perfect for October, September and November, or March, April, May if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. And when I get my Community Angel cover books, I like to make a little key and stick it in the book with some washi tape, and then I can colour and track how many pages I've completed in the book. So that is 50 Autumn Miniatures by Community Angel Cover. Next, I've got the 2 new Annie Day books by Morgan O'Brien. He released Annie Day, I think earlier this year, or was it late last year? Actually, it was late last year. I think sort of around November time, so it took almost a whole year for us to get another Annie Day book, but I'm so glad he's done another one. And he's done one themed to autumn and to winter. I think the autumn one might be my favourite of the two, but they are both filled with amazing pictures. I am colouring this one this month with Zoe. I love the autumn season for colouring. I love colouring pumpkins. I find that really fun. I love the autumnal colour palettes. I don't necessarily love autumn. I'm more of a spring and summer person. I definitely suffer with seasonal affective disorder, which makes you feel... I've coloured this page, which makes you feel a little bit depressed during the winter months, and you feel better during the summer months. I just like daylight. I don't like going outside. I don't get that vitamin D, but it's just the number of hours of day. It makes me sad at being night at like 4 o'clock. Yeah, I love this book. So many absolutely adorable pages. Coloured one so far, and I've got another one planned for October, and hopefully I'll get another one done for November. That's Annie Day Autumn Vibes. Then I have Annie Day Winter Tales. And when I first flipped it, it wasn't my favourite of the two. I thought, oh, there's so many more pages I love in the autumn one. But then I went through and tried to pick my top 5 favourite pages. As Zoe and I like to go through new books and pick our top 3 or top 5 favourites. And I found it a big struggle. I love this one. This cat reminds me of mine, Lexi. She likes to climb up in our Christmas tree at times. Definitely want to colour that this year. But I really struggled to pick my 5 favourites because I loved so many pictures in this book. And I like how there's a bunch of Christmas pages, but also just some general winter ones, which aren't necessarily Christmas themed. Now I see a lot of cool, bright jewel tones in this book. Reds, blues, purples. Kind of similar to the colours that Morgan's put on the front cover. I just like the variety of images in these books with Annie Day, and the variety of things that she gets up to. She wears different outfits. We can explore lots of different colour palettes for it. That is Annie Day Winter Tales by Morgan O'Brien. Then when I went out to the shops, I picked up the newest Colouring Havoc Pocket Edition. This is Halloween. I will be honest, I kind of got this book for this front cover image. I just think this image is so cute with the cat and the pumpkin. Definitely want to colour this. But I can see myself doing some quick, easy colouring similar to my Cute and Cozy books. I just colour with alcohol markers and do a little bit of shading with them. Love this one with the hedgehog. This one doesn't necessarily give me Halloween vibes, more just autumn. So I could save that for November. I really love the thick line art here, although it does change to a slightly thinner line art. You can see it's really thick there, and then it's thinner for the sort of back half pages, but it's still pretty thick. that makes it easy to colour with alcohol markers. I just thought these images were fun. I don't really have many specifically Halloween themed books, and I do love the Colouring Heaven pocket editions. I just think they're a great size, and I like supporting the company. I love this page with the cat and the skull and crystals. That looks fun to colour. And this one with the bunny, so cute. But there we have it. That's Colouring Heaven Pocket Halloween. These are designs by Olya Kos. Then next, I decided to get 4 R.J. Hampson books, and there is a reason behind this. I have been waiting patiently for R.J. Hampson to release Forest Song with the duplicates with a difference pages. He has been going back through his older books and adding duplicates with a difference, because with his older books it used to be he had 2 sets of images that were completely identical to each other. And then I believe from Moonlight Mischief he started adding differences to the second set of images. Often he'll add a black background to it. He'll sometimes change things. Sometimes it's little changes, sometimes they're quite big. But I thought as soon as he released Forest Song, because of his older books, that's my favourite one, I am going to get the 4 remaining ones that I'm missing from my collection, which is Night Garden, Forest Song, A Frog's Tale and Moonlight Mischief. His older books, like the steampunk ones, the robots, the pirates, that doesn't appeal to me. So now I am happy with my R.J. Hampson collection. And this goes back to the beginning of my video where I said that I've been getting some books that I've had my eye on for a while, that have been released for a while, and I finally added them to my collection. Love this page for autumn. So I want to get to a point where I only really buy colouring books when they're new releases, or a new artist to me that I've just discovered. So I'm just going to show you the front set of images. I have an idea to go through all of R.J. Hampson's books from Night Garden onwards, as that's what I have, and do a comparison of the original set and the duplicates with the difference. If you'd like to see that video, do let me know. That's an idea that I've got that I thought would be fun now that this sort of set of his books have now been released with the duplicates with the difference. So Forest Song. I love that title page with the fox. It's so cute. I've wanted this book for ages, but I was like, I'm not going to get it until he releases the duplicates with the difference. Because even though I'm never one to colour an image twice, I like just sort of almost hide and seek nature to the second set of images in his books. The fact that you can go back and have a look at them, see what differences you can spot, and it's really exciting to see them sort of next to each other. And if I'm going to be getting his book, I would get the duplicates with the difference rather than just 2 identical sets of the same images. So I'm glad that he's gone back and done these for his older books. I really appreciate it from RJ. He definitely listens to his community and tries to give something of what they want. So here we have the second set of images, and you can see a lot of them have black backgrounds. That is Forest Song by R.J. Hampson. Okay, so I just dropped that stack of books. We'll move on. Next I got A Frog's Tale. This is a Mr. Fogarty colouring book. This was the first Mr. Fogarty colouring book he released. And then he released Around the World, which I am colouring in order. as a project book with Catherine from Cath Colours Pages over on Instagram. And originally I wasn't so into this book, but the more pages I saw coloured of it, I was like, you know what? I do love Mr. Fogarty. Colouring him in Around the World is a lot of fun, and I like the variety of different scenes we have in this book compared to the Around the World book. And it's just RJ's style. It was one that definitely grew on me. Started out with a couple books and slowly built my collection. And then we have the second set of pages with the slight differences and the black backgrounds. It's A Frog's Tale by R.J. Hampson. And the final one I got was Moonlight Mischief. This was the first book he ever released as a Duplicates with a Difference. I think it was probably inspired by the fact that it was called Moonlight Mischief. It really lended itself to having black backgrounds, but it's also great to have plain white pages so you can experiment with your backgrounds yourself. I find it's great for depending on your mood. Sometimes you don't want to think about a background and you want to use the black background pages, and other times you want to be a bit more creative and have a bit more creative freedom with your pages and doing your own backgrounds, like you can do sunsets, sunrises, gradients. But this one is full with really cute, cheeky creatures. I love this page. That's super adorable. Lots of different creatures in this one, which is fun. And I like how his books often contain nods to previous ones, like we had a pirate theme page. There's usually a Mr. Fogarty page in each one. And you can see here the black backgrounds that have been added to the second set of images. So those are the 4 R.J. Hampson books I got. As I said, if you would like to see a video of me comparing the 2 sets of images, the line art and the black background ones, let me know and I will make that. It's Moonlight Mischief. Then I decided to really treat myself and get some special books that I have had my eye on for ages. Wildflower Folk by Christine Karen being one of them. This has been on my wish list pretty much this whole year. And I kept putting it off because it's so beautiful, but it's rather intimidating. And I was talking with Zoe and she was just like, get it. And I just went, okay. This is absolutely stunning. And you don't quite appreciate how stunning the artwork is until you see it in person, I think. Like the grayscale, the detail on the line work is just stunning. I love this page for autumn. And I like the variety of portraits she has in here. They don't all look the same, which I think is something that a lot of artists struggle with, that sort of same face syndrome. But all of these ladies look very different from each other with unique features. And this paper is very thick and super smooth. I feel like polychromos would work really well on this paper, and prismas as well. I would have to do a few different pages testing out what mediums I like best. I love this one with the little kitty. Perfect for Halloween time. Some really nice autumnal pages in this book, which I always love. Got even something for Mermaid. But I believe this is a compilation of images from a few of her fairy and fantasy books that she releases on Amazon paper. But I think for this quality of line art, you want a better grade paper. And I think I did see, or did hear through the grapevine, that she is working on another artist quality book which should be super exciting. Oh, look at that Sugar Plum Fairy. Beautiful. Every single page is just stunning. And it is a sew-bound book, so there's no chance of your pages falling out. You can really sort of crack the spine of this book and not worry about your pages. This is one of my favourites, with all the berries and a little bee. We've even got a male character, which is always fun and different. And there we have it. That is Wildflower Folk by Christine Karen. Even the cover is just stunning. The way she's coloured this image is beautiful. So really excited to finally have this in my collection. Another book I've had my eye on for a while is Magical Woodland by Kate Pellerin. She is the creator of Poopa Cat over on Instagram. This is a smaller book. If we compare it to R.J. Hampson, which is more of an A4 size, this is quite a bit smaller. It's not quite A5, because A5 would be half. It's a bit bigger than A5, but it's considerably shorter and a bit less wide as well. But I like smaller books. It makes the pages quicker and easier to colour. And this has lovely paper. I believe it's the same paper as Spooky by Sarah Shevchik. I really enjoy working on that paper. In this book she uses quite a soft, more sort of grey toned for her line work. And I think there's a lot of great options for autumn and Halloween in here. I've seen it on Instagram and YouTube a lot, people colouring it, and the pages are just so cute. I like how detailed they are. This one, I think this is my favourite page from the book. I love all the different characters, and her style of drawing is super cute. These sort of rounded features on their characters. This is the cover image. There's a real variety in here. We've got some exterior houses, interiors, characters on a page, close-ups, wider shots, which makes for a really interesting book. I love that one too with the little duck. So many adorable pages, and I do hope this is the start of more colouring books by Kate Pellerin, because this is super cute. Then I have Wild and Nature by Rayhan Udici, also known as Raider Prince. She has released some other books on Amazon. In fact, I have one of them. Let me grab it. So this is the previous book she released on Amazon, Cozy Spaces, and I believe there was another one, Storefronts, and a portrait book. And I really love the style of images in here, but I haven't coloured in it for a long time. I was going to do, I think someone started a colour along in this book and then they had to step away from YouTube. It was Pixie's projects. But it'd be fun if maybe someone else picked this up and carried on the colour along, because there are some lovely pages in Cozy Spaces. But that was Amazon printed, and this is printed by a publisher. I'm not sure who the publisher is. EMF? I don't know. I thought that this was going to be similar to the Spooky and Magical Woodland book, but the paper is quite thin. It feels definitely better than the Amazon books. Like, you can hear it's definitely thicker, and it has a bit of texture but isn't quite as textured as Amazon, which can make for some rough blends with your colour pencils. So I am really interested to see how this paper is going to perform. but I love all of these images. It was one that I sort of bought blind. I saw it on her Instagram and it wasn't on Amazon UK, so I actually got this from Blackwell's UK. And on Blackwell's it didn't even have a picture for the book, so it was a bit nerve-wracking buying it. But the images are stunning, which I shouldn't be surprised at because I do love the images from Cozy Spaces. And there is a lot of images in here. I think I counted and it was 52. I remember flipping through it for the first time and being shocked at how many pages there were. Which I suppose is a plus of having the thinner paper. You can fit more pages into a book. I absolutely adore this page of the camping scene in the suitcase. But yeah, when I bought this, there was one flip through that had been put out. I think that was after I ordered it though. Nothing else was available. Because I think is it a German release? So it's probably released on Amazon Germany. But it wasn't showing up on Amazon UK. So I had to find it elsewhere. And I'm so glad I bought it because it's so adorable. Not sure if I'll get to colouring it in October, but hopefully for November. I will colour my first page in here. It is single-sided, so you can use alcohol markers. And I'm hoping that as the paper's a little bit better, it might not bleed over the lines as much. Yeah, picking a few favourites from here was really tricky as I love so many. I think this is my favourite page of the entire book. I love that one. And it is the final page. So that is Wild and Nature by Rayhan Udechi or Raider Prince. Then I got my hands on this beautiful book, Fairy Tales and Folklore colouring book by Emily Liedl-Oberg. This was a much anticipated book in the colouring community, and there are a lot of pages in it, so I'm going to talk about it whilst I flip through. This was originally released as Saga och Sagna. I'm not sure when, based on the book. Does it say here the publishing info? No, it doesn't say a year. But it was way before I started colouring. It was out of print. They decided not to print it anymore. And Claire, from Colour with Claire, started this petition to get Saga och Sagna reprinted, as it was something that new colourists would discover. We'd love the artwork and not be able to get our hands on it. You would maybe find an edition on eBay every now and then, but it would be selling for stupid prices. And the petition got the number of signatures it needed, and it attracted a publisher who I believe reached out to Emily, and they worked together to get this book republished. And I've got to say, this is the thickest paper I've ever experienced in my life. It's probably double the thickness of a Hannah Carlson paper, which is what I thought it would be. I thought it would be similar to Hannah Carlson or Maria Troll, those sort of hardback books. This is my favourite image in the whole book. I love the bunnies and the basket and all the jams. I think it's so cute. Yeah, I think the paper is the thickest I've ever experienced. So if any artists are watching this, reach out to Better Day Books. They produce some lovely paper. And I've already started colouring my first page, as Doodle Robot is hosting a group buddy colour. If you'd like to join, message her on Instagram, she'll add you. Where every other month we pick a page, and the first page was picked before I joined, so I just got so excited I had to start colouring in this. This has so many pages in it, over 100 pages, with beautiful thick paper. Here's the page I started, and the colour palette you can see I'm using is Sleeping Dragon. It's been a lot of fun. I've used polychromos on this paper so far, and they have worked beautifully. yeah, it's a very different, unique style. Lots of intentional added line work design, would just make for a more interesting piece. And adorable little creatures. I love how she draws the fur, so it's not a harsh outline. So if you want to practice your fur technique. We have one double page spread at the back, the rest are single page spreads. And it's just absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad that Emily was able to get in contact with the publisher, get it reprinted, and hopefully this will mean this book stays around for a considerable amount of time. So that is Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Liedl-Oberg. And the final book I have is very special to me. This was some happy mail sent to me by my lovely friend over on Instagram, Catherine. She even sent me a little postcard with it. Let me grab it. So she sent me this coloured Johanna Basford postcard, and look at all the glittery gel pen on it. I've popped it up on my desk so I can look at it whilst I colour, and it just makes me smile every time I look up at it. So thank you so much, Catherine. She watched one of my videos where I was saying how I love Kanoko Agusa, and I was really sad I missed out on getting her Colouring Heavens. In fact, this was the one I was most sad about because I was just on the fence about Kanoko Agusa. I was thinking about getting it, saw it in stores, I flipped it, I liked it, and I didn't get it, and I regretted it because it's sold out, I think, within that month over on the website, so I couldn't go back and get it from the website. And she reached out to me and said, would you like mine? I don't think I'll ever colour in it. And I was like, absolutely, thank you so much. And so she sent this in the post to me. It was beautifully packaged as well. She put it in a protective sleeve as we've been having a lot of rain that week. But this is full of adorable pages by Kanoko Agusa. I'm looking forward to using alcohol markers for some of these pages to make the colouring a bit quicker, and just to have a bit of variety from her regular colouring books, as I always use coloured pencils in those as they're double-sided. I love this White Rabbits page, super cute. I'm also interested to see how many of these images will pop up in her new book that's coming out, I believe, next year. She's almost finished illustrating it. She's been giving sneak peeks over on Instagram and they look super cute. I love this page with the woodland animals. Look at that bear's face, how adorable. So I'm so happy to have this in my collection. And thank you so much to Catherine for reaching out and thinking of me. It's going to hold a special place in my heart, this book. And I can't wait to start colouring it. So that is the Enchanted Animals Special by Colouring Heaven with designs by Kanoko Agusa. And that is the last book I have to show you. As I said, I got quite a few books. I like to flip through them all just because, yes, some of these books have been around for a long time, but it's fun to flip through books and hear people's thoughts about it. And it might be your first video on YouTube and it might be the first haul you watch. And so sometimes it's frustrating when people go, oh, you've seen this already, and people might not have seen them. So I like to flip through them, even if it's quick. So thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below which book is your favourite that I've got recently. Oh, it's so hard to pick for me. It's going to have to be the Fairy Tales and Folklore, just because of the paper, the art, the quality, everything about it is just beautiful. So I think that's my favourite. Let me know what your favourite is in the comments. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.